Kia ora, haere mai from the backyard. It is here in Hurstville, Sydney. It's a bit overcast. Fairly warm day though. Anyway, it's Trent's Araroa Trail Trek Tramp day plus 33 or 34, something like that. But it's also Trent's transition from the Australian Regular Army day plus 14. So started my reserve days yesterday, 2 days a week or more if they need me, and decided to set up the tent one last time just to do a bit of a video. So this is my final video, and I'll go through my setup, and I've set up all the stuff as I would have it if I was camped out on the trail, near the trail in a holiday park. Hopefully not being ripped off 35-40 bucks for a piece of grass. This piece of grass is costing me nothing. I mowed it this morning actually. Sophie's dad is in hospital today getting his pacemaker replaced, so I'm on standby to go and pick him up from the local public hospital. But in the meantime, I'll try and get this cracking. So anyway, I'd come to a place, you'd need obviously this amount of area, flat area hopefully, but I have camped on hills around huts where there just wasn't any flat spots. And obviously pegs into the ground. You set up the inner first, and then you set up the outer. You have to watch out for deadfall or dead trees, branches, or possible branches. Some trees, and you see them, you see branches that have split off in the wind and stuff. Like for example, when Cyclone Gabriel came through the 2 bad days of the cyclone, it's better to get off the trail because you don't know if a healthy branch is going to snap off and come down and kill you. You don't want that. So this is the tent setup. It's a 2-man tent, 3-season tent. In other words, not real good for harsh, minus 10, 15 degrees Celsius winters. Anyway, set it up, and then I would unzip it, throw my pack in, the 2 garbage bags that would cover the tent, as well as my roll mat. They would be thrown in there, as well as my shoes. I'd sit in there, have my shoes out, undo my shoes. Sometimes I'd have my shoes underneath the little fly door thing here. And then I'd get in there, and the idea was to stay in there until I was ready to get up in the morning. So yes, I would unzip the tent and go wee just outside. So you're obviously in a place where it's not someone's backyard or something. If there was a toilet available, I'd use the toilet. Okay, but middle of some areas there's no toilet, so you have to use what's available. Okay, we're going to jump in now. So you try and make this as quick as possible. You jump in the tent and zip it up. You probably missed that. All right, so there we go. Tent, fly, or the insect mesh, whatever, is all zipped up, and the plan is not to open that because the sandflies and mosquitoes will get in there somehow. All right, let's go through the setup. So I'd get in here. As I said, it was a 2-man tent. I'd put my roll mat down, Thermarest roll mat, which is just fantastic. I've slept on rocks, and this really helped. And my pack. We'll start at this end of the tent. So on my side here, I would have, let's have a look. My head torch, wallet, glasses case. These bags would be for my camera, and here's my last walking pole. That would be set up and running down the tent, but I'll have the pointy end in the bush hat. And this is what I would wear around my neck every single day. My friend John helped to set this up. So it was a whistle, a little knife, which came in handy actually, a compass, which I used a couple of times, and a little push button light, which was really handy as well. Also, there was a felt tip or texture pen, which was attached to it, but somewhere in the South Island it broke off. I didn't find it. Now, in this little pocket here, I'd have my inner sole, and this little strap thing would strap my Thermarest one. On the other side of the tent is the same. So there's my other inner sole and my strap that straps up the Thermarest. Okay. Sorry, I've been bouncing around a bit here. All right, so my -5 degree sleeping bag, and this is just a thin pillow that's folded over and tied because I have I've mentioned before, obstructive sleep apnea. I snore, and that helps my snoring. These are puggarees, which I hardly ever used. Personal location beacon, first aid kit, shaving gear, so just disposable shavers and shaving gel, jet boil, and this little flannel here was fantastic because you didn't want hot stuff on the floor of your tent, which is not quite waterproof. Cedar Summit spoon, which is good for ice cream and 2-minute noodles. Working down my little bag for my pigs. So everything's in Ziploc bags. Once the Ziploc bag's got a hole in it or wore out, just replace them. Savlon cream, fantastic for all sorts of skin problems. Chafe, insect bites, tinea, fantastic. I think I went through about 3 tubes of this stuff. Really good. 50 plus sunscreen, lip balm, floss, cotton tipped buds. Now my repair kit was a bunch of needles, a bunch of bigger needles, and what's called super tack, and just regular cotton thread, which I used. Pumice stone for, I don't know if you can see that, but let's have a look here. Where is it? There we go. So that's my foot, and just really hard bits of callous skin around the toes, the ball of the feet especially, and of course the ankle. Sawyer squeeze water filtration system, that was really good. In this bottom of my pack too would be 2 gas canisters, like the big gas canisters, and they lasted quite a while, that would fit onto the jet boil. And then up here I would hang out my socks, jocks, shorts, my long sleeve orange vest, and the other sock, and they wouldn't dry out totally. But I'd squeeze out as much as I could. But I would put on a clean pair of undies. This is for sleeping at night time, and clean pair of shorts, and thermals or whatever, depending on the temperatures. So here's my gear that I kept in this part of the pack. So here's a torch from John. Thank you, John. Still working really well. Another one of these from John. Really good. Spare whistle. Swiss Army knife that I've had since the 90s when I was in the Royal Australian Navy submarines. Still going strong. Set of swimming goggles. Spare AAA batteries. And the little rubber, I don't know if you can see that, but little rubber things you put on the end of your walking pole, Bible, and all of this was in Ziploc bags. Getting down here,